staying on the 10. That's right, speeding down the 10 freeway eastbound, 80-plus miles an hour, sometimes 90 miles an hour. He did pass that interchange, the 15, and he is continuing eastbound on the 10 here through these Inland Empire communities. And looking up ahead for several miles, as far as I can see, off to the east, same type of congestion pattern. Generally light to moderate here. He's been staying in the left lane and the carpool lane, weaving in between those two lanes. And kind of has a casual mode about grabbing the steering wheel there as he makes his way. And you can see his speed in relation to these other automobiles. He's going at a good clip. I count 3 to 4 CHP units behind him and a law enforcement helicopter tracking him from above as well. Eastbound here through Fontana, now the California Speedway. Just to the north of the freeway, he passed Ontario International Airport. And as Jim said, yes, he's been waving outside the window at times, throwing some things, unclear what exactly they are. But essentially, they'll continue to track him eastbound here. How much gas he has? Is he going back towards Beaumont, where this car was stolen? That's always a possibility. As I always say, they like to return to areas that they're familiar with. Perhaps they feel that they have a better opportunity to duck under somewhere and evade police. But CHP's got him covered on the ground and in the air, and they're tracking him nicely behind here on the 10 freeway eastbound, now heading towards Rialto and then San Bernardino. Well, look at him. He's going really quick. That's getting really sketch. 95. Oh, look at that. I count 3 right now, Roxy, Steve, and you could see he really was picking up speed there just a short time ago. We were tracking him with our speed, comparing his speed with our speed, and we were saying close to 95 miles an hour at one point. He was driving in the center divider area as well, and you saw a lot of dust kick up. Still traveling eastbound on the 10 freeway, anywhere from 80 to 90 miles an hour plus, weaving in out of the center divider area. Also the carpool and far left lane, and he made a rather erratic move at one point over towards the right lane as well. This is a freeway that's heavily congested by tractor trailers, by big rigs here. As you can see, many come into view here, and the danger level is high here. The energy level is high here as well, and they want to bring a safe end to this, and there just isn't a good opportunity to do that at this point, only to track him. If they decide he's driving at such a high rate of speed and the public is in jeopardy, these commuters down here who don't know that it's coming up from behind, and the majority of them likely don't, then they will back off and track him from the air, which they do at times. We've seen so many of these pursuits end tragically in horrible accidents where innocent people are killed. As you can see, just the driver, the lone occupant of this black Camry that was reported as stolen out of the Beaumont area earlier this morning. The pursuit started well before 9 a.m. out in the Inland Empire. CHP picked it up at around 9, tracking it westbound on the 60 freeway into Diamond Bar. From there, he made the transition to the northbound 57, and then up to the 10 freeway, eastbound on the 10. That's the center divider area there. That is not a carpool lane. So he's weaving out of lanes altogether to avoid the oncoming traffic. And the traffic pattern, very much the same as what we've seen in the light to moderate range, as you can see here on this eastbound stretch of 10 freeway, the San Bernardino freeway, heading towards the community of San Bernardino. He slows down a little bit when he comes across some traffic, but overall the trend has been upward in his speeds, anywhere from 85, 90 miles an hour plus here as he continues to make his way eastbound on the 10 freeway here, coming through Rialto, Colton, and then he's going to have another interchange up ahead here as well, and he has the opportunity to make a north or southbound transition on the 215 freeway. In the center divider area there, 85, 88 miles an hour at this point. They are looking for another K-9 unit. As Jim just said, they like to have those on hand so that once these pursuits come to an end, they have that option to use a dog, which we have seen so many times in the past. The only thing somewhat atypical about this pursuit is the time involved. The majority of pursuits last just a couple of minutes. This one now likely going on an hour, perhaps even more. We don't know the exact time it started, but we do know that just before 9 a.m., that's when there was that agency handoff to the California Highway Patrol. So that was 45 minutes ago. How much gas this Camry has? Unclear. And if you are just tuning in, this Camry reportedly stolen out of the Beaumont area this morning. The CHP is tracking it on the ground, 3 units in the air, a CHP helicopter as well. And we are coming up on the very busy flyaway interchange here in the heart of San Bernardino, the 10 freeway at the 215. So let's see if he weaves over to the right and decides to make a transition. Once again, a lot of times these suspects will go back into neighborhoods in terms of finding a location of where he wants to go. He's familiar with the area, so he may want to come back here. Now we're widening out, and we are not seeing those CHP units behind him anymore, so they may very well have decided to back off on this somewhat. As he merges over to the right, it looks like he may just make a transition here, and he is. It looks like he's going to make a transition onto the 215 freeway here. He's going to go either north or south, and his decision is northbound. He's going to be heading northbound on the 215 freeway here into San Bernardino. That would take him up towards Devore, into the Cajon Pass, if that's where he chooses to go. Slowing down a little bit on this transition. There is one CHP unit. They're just backing off, though, substantially compared to what we saw earlier. But again, there is a CHP helicopter tracking him overhead as well. Perhaps they thought because of his speed and his erratic driving there just a short time ago, they thought it would be safest to back off. So now northbound on the 215 freeway here in San Bernardino. This pursuit likely going on for close to an hour, perhaps even more, starting out here in the Inland Empire in Beaumont, where this car was originally stolen. And Stephen and Roxy, we are getting into an area, just to warn you, where we start to lose communication. My ability to hear you becomes less and less. So I'll do the best I can to keep my communication line going with you. They're back there. I see them. They're just they're probably half a mile, quarter mile back. Yeah, it is better. I got IP again. I hear, if anybody hears, I hear error. Anybody I have, I hear. Throwing more stuff out the window. Hey, Erica, do you have me? Okay, I can hear it, just so they all know. Transitioning onto the 210. Nope. location, Erica. I mean, there's so much. ER, do they not want to know where this is? Still in San Bernardino, and again, my communication's getting bad again, guys. 215 freeway northbound here, heading up towards the 15. He is starting to slow down now, so let's see what happens. He's definitely slowing down. This is a high grade, but it looks like he's pulling off to the right here. So let's see what happens. This is on the northbound side of the 215, just before the merge with the 15 as you make your way up through the Cajon Pass. Still officially in San Bernardino. There's the CHP units, but they backed off substantially, a good quarter of a mile. The airborne, the helicopter, was still following. Okay, let's see what happens here. He's going to be given very strict instructions here. You've seen these felony stops multiple times. Officers giving him direct instructions on how to conduct himself, and he clearly is not doing what he's told. They do not want him making any type of movement inside the car, reaching for anything. They're telling him to have his hands up and walk backwards towards him, and he is not doing that at all. And those officers down below are clearly giving him orders there. Obviously, this is a narrow stretch of the 215, only 2 lanes, and those lanes are being held. This is a very dangerous situation here. So he's walking out, clearly just walking over casually, not doing what he's told at all. And this is the reason why they wanted that canine unit here. Walk over the center divider here, just very casually here. And the officers are holding back a bit. And now he's going to be possibly walking across southbound lanes of the 215 freeway. This is a rare situation. I've not seen that. Standing in the center divider here, traffic is going to open up, and it looks like he's going to have an opportunity, if he wants, to cross over this freeway, the 215 freeway southbound, just south. There he goes, right across the freeway here. And I'm still not seeing much movement from these California Highway Patrol officers here. Moving off to the right shoulder here. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's going to walk southbound. I'm not seeing any units coming southbound yet. And being that he's on this overpass, here comes a unit underneath here. The 215 freeway crossing over, and this is just south of the 15. The 15 up through the Cajon Pass into the high desert communities. We'll push in. Looks like he's in a T-shirt and shorts and just acting very casually and randomly. He's got something in his hand, perhaps. Some sort of a stick or something. I can't tell at this point, but clearly, I don't know what he's going to do here. Yeah, he's clearly not, he wasn't doing what he was told. We've seen these felony stops so many times. There's officers there on the northbound side of the 215, so it's divided here at this overpass. He's communicating with them, officers down below as well. He casually just pulled over, whether or not he was out of gas or not, on the northbound side of the 215. He reached into the back seat, was not doing what he was told by officers, and now has something in his right hand here. And again, I've lost communications with you, Stephen or Roxy, so you guys can pick this up, and I'll just chime in, but I cannot hear you guys at this point. But something I have not seen. They are tracking him with a helicopter as well in San Bernardino here on the 215 freeway, walking southbound now. Some sort of, so almost looks like a windshield wiper blade. He's walking across the southbound side of the 215 now. And again, he's staying on the overpass here. You saw that helicopter. That's the law enforcement helicopter. So he's deciding to stay on the overpass here. You can see all the CHP units on the northbound side of the 215. And there are some officers staged underneath that overpass as well. And traffic just keeps going. I'm surprised the CHP has not stopped traffic on that southbound side. Ran a unit up there, crossed over, and perhaps attempts to hold the southbound side of the 215 freeway here because, again, an erratic suspect here, a stolen vehicle suspect out of Beaumont. This started well over an hour ago in Beaumont, made its way into LA County on the 60 freeway, past the 57, towards the 605, north on the 605. Then he picked up the 10 and took the 10 all the way into San Bernardino, transitioned to the northbound side of the 215 freeway, and then made his way north on the 215 to this point, just below Devore, just south of Devore, where the 215 and 15 freeways meet. He slowed down, he pulled over. Unclear if he just decided to pull over at that point or if his car ran out of gas. He walked across southbound lanes here of this narrow stretch of freeway, only 2 lanes, and then has made his way a little bit to the south on the southbound 215, while all the officers are still positioned on the northbound side. Northbound traffic stopped, southbound is not. You can see it stops for a moment as he decides to walk across the freeway here, holding something in his hand. It almost looks like a large windshield wiper blade, perhaps some sort of walking stick. It does not look like a weapon, that is for sure, at least from our vantage point up here in Skyfox. A lot of traffic coming southbound on the 215, trucker traffic, motors coming from Devore, the high desert communities. Again, this stretch of the 215 meets up with the 15 through the Cajon Pass and takes people. A tank driving by there, as you can see, and he's just sitting up on the ledge here on this overpass of the southbound side of the 215 freeway here in San Bernardino, the far northern portion of San Bernardino near the border of Devore. CHP units below, underneath that overpass, and also on the northbound side of the 215. Now they are holding traffic. We'll widen out a little bit on this street, and we're going to try to get you a street here. If we pan left just a little bit and look in to that intersection, if we push in, we don't want to lose this. We'll see what street that is. But as you can see, he's just deciding to position himself on that overpass. And here's the street right here. It is Palm Avenue. So this is Palm Avenue in San Bernardino. Palm Avenue, east and westbound, blocked here. 215 freeway, though, where he's sitting on, southbound side, is still open at this time. I'm still waiting to see if CHP unit. I am seeing one up ahead now. Now there is a cruiser, a CHP cruiser, who appears to be making his way up so he can block traffic to keep things safe. And there's an officer there doing just that. So the suspect, the stolen vehicle suspect, this is a standoff situation now, guys. He's on the overpass here of the 215 freeway southbound in San Bernardino. Palm Avenue down below, it's blocked. Both sides of the 215 north and southbound are now blocked to keep motorists safe, and the waiting game starts. Okay, I got an update, guys. I have an update from CHP here. It is a windshield wiper blade. It's a large windshield wiper blade, and a canine unit has arrived, and you can see it there off to the right by the palm trees on the northbound side, and they're going to deploy that canine unit, and this is exactly why. Now he's starting to make a move. He sees that dog, and they're going to release that dog on him, and this is the exact reason why they wanted that canine unit here, so that they could use it on him. But again, that's a windshield wiper blade. And you can see he's getting a little bit nervous up, but he's still gesturing officers here, gesturing officers with that windshield wiper, and they're going to walk right up towards him. They're telling him, hey, if you just do what you're told, if you lay down, it looks like he's gonna do just no. They're giving him strict, just lay down, hands up, and we won't have to deploy the dog. So we'll see what happens. But they're definitely getting his attention here on the Palm Avenue overpass to the southbound side of the 215, waving the windshield wiper blade. That's what it looked like from up here, and we just got confirmation from the CHP. That's exactly what it is. But the bottom line, he has not done what he's told to do. First, he didn't pull over. He should have pulled over an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 30 minutes ago when he was lit up. He led these officers on a very high-speed pursuit, 90, 95 miles an hour at times, endangering the public. He decided to pull over, possibly ran out of gas, and then he just got out of the vehicle very casually, walked across freeway lanes, did not do what he was told, did not put his hands up or lay flat on the roadway, as we always see with felony stops. So now they have this canine unit. They're still trying to negotiate with him to say, hey, lay down, face away from us. Officers have him surrounded. He's obviously not going to be able to get anywhere at this point, and he's still gesturing at these officers in a very combative way, blocking the entire 215 freeway here. This is the southbound side of the 215 at Palm. Now, these officers are trained in how to negotiate with suspects like this, and sure enough, that's what they're trying to do, but he's just not having it, waving his hands, looking very agitated, obviously, but they did get his attention with this canine unit, and essentially they're giving him a warning, saying that, hey, we're going to have to use this dog on you if you don't do what you're told. He's been given many opportunities to do just that, and he hasn't done it yet. Southbound side of the 215, this is where it's all happening. That's the Palm Avenue overpass here in the city of San Bernardino, just south of DeBoer and the Cajon Pass, where the 215 and 15 freeways meet. And they've given him Eric, I can hear air right now. Copy? Yep. Okay. Here he goes. Now he's threatening. Now he's threatening to jump, guys. He's threatening to jump. Yeah, he's threatening to jump at this point. He's right up on the edge here, guys, as you can see. The 215 overpass at Palm. And as officers get closer, he's getting more and more agitated. That's 15 feet down below, too, guys. We saw the... Got him. Got him. Wow. Wow, look at that, guys. They just took him down from the behind. That was something else. Wow. That's a beanbag gun.